because anything that they do, they're not going to make Jesus come faster, you know. He's going to get here when he gets ready to get here, no matter how many people they killed, and they killed a lot of them.
Well, you said that you had helped, well, I know that you've helped uncover 300 mass body graves.
There was about 300, well, there probably was more than that by the time they got here. There was, what I witnessed at that time, Gina, back in 71, that was a brand new grave site. We moved out there to be some of the watchdogs over it, I guess, you know, the people I lived with, and each of my neighbors surrounding. I just actually found out from a friend of mine that I had one more neighbor that actually was involved with that, which I kind of feared that them people was, but I didn't actually know that. So I had more than 3 or 4 families there, you know, involved in it, watching to make sure they kept people out of the area. And now federal authorities are keeping people out of the area. I know, because I take a ride out that way every now and then. I've got so many of them dogs on me that there ain't no getting nowhere near it, you know.
Well, you said you never really escaped. They still bother you after all these years.
Yeah, you never get rid of them. They don't have enough sense to know when to stop. I mean, yes, they keep checking up on me. They can't watch me 24 hours a day unless law enforcement has enough of them to continue to watch me, not for crime because I'm not a criminal, but and not to keep my mouth shut anymore because it's kind of a little bit too late for that, but just to see who my contact's with and so on. And this is another reason that federal authorities keep me from Eric and Carlos. They can call me a liar if I try to talk, but that don't cut it. There's a ton of evidence out there. It's just been kept covered up, you know, and till one of the major news media or papers go ahead and get the truth out there, then it's going to stay covered up. And I've watched this go on for 24 years, you know. So
what happened when you were 3 years old? You were taken away from your mother. She was diagnosed as being mentally ill so that the sheriff could come in and remove you and your sister. From that point forward, what was your life like at 3 years old? Were you beaten? Were you tortured? When did they make you start porno movies? At what age, and what happened?
Me and my twin sister were put in the squad car with the sheriff, and I was taken to Helen's family, and my sister was taken to the Epps family. One of her handlers, though, was an airplane pilot. I want to make sure I mention he was a pilot, named DePriest. He was also a teacher here at Poplar Bluff High School. I'm thinking he was a science teacher. I barely knew him, but I did know him and his wife. I believe they both were teachers. And they would fly my sister around. Yeah, I don't know if they took her as far as San Francisco or what the deal was. You know, we didn't get into them kind of conversations because we had more important things on our minds, you know. But yeah, I don't know how many people they brought in to rape me, and I don't know if there was a lot of porn pre-age 17, you know, during those years. I know I was unconscious a lot. The scumbag I lived with, Jack Chittenden, put a ether on a rag, and that's what he rendered me unconscious with. And I usually never knew what happened. I just woke up and kind of knew that something did happen, you know. Stuff like that. But after I got to Texas, and it was real important to move away, I couldn't help these people as long as I was living here among them, you know. But I got down there, and Carlos wanted to try to get in the area, so I go to one of his concerts. We wanted to have a fight. We wanted media attention, you know. And so he got his concert set up as soon as he could, which was March 21st of 1978 in Dallas. And then it was about a year later, I believe it was February 13th, 79 in Fort Worth. And at the one in Dallas, he was going to show me who a couple of dudes was, and I was going to just punch him out, and I wanted him to just keep walking. But I actually met him out front, and he got out of limo, and I just kind of walked him to the stage, and then he pointed out a couple of dudes to me, you know, because, well, my hands were registered lethal weapons, and I grew up with one of the boxers around me, so I could punch somebody out, you know. What I did is contacted someone in the media. I don't remember who it was. It may have been Fort Worth Star-Telegram, the local newspaper down there. Whoever it was, I just sort of told them my name and told them there would be a fight at the concert because we wanted that evidence is what it was, you know. It ain't never been made public yet either. But anyway, I hit these two guys, and Carlos went on to stage, and after I left, and I went outside, and we were leaving, it was me and Bill, the Nazi scumbag I married, and his friend, who also was from Butler County, John Fairless, and his wife, Ann. And man, Bill, he got it behind me, and unexpected, you know, and he grabbed me, and he just smashed the whole top of my head into the wall. And I thought I was going to die. I had a massive headache, and his friends, you know, they didn't even try to help me or nothing. The next concert I went to, I think Carlos told me to stay kind of in the back because there would be some cameras there and people doing footage, and that was in Fort Worth, I believe, at the convention center, and just hang out with a couple of guys and play dumb and don't actually tell nothing because somebody was going to be questioning me. And I think I was with Phil Collins and Rod Stewart, I think. I'm not real sure who I was with. It's been so many years, you know, all the way back to 79. Well, what the Nazis did is they didn't like us getting together like that, and they were especially mad because there was a fight and there were so many cameras flashing for these fights, you know, that happened. So they were causing my little boy a lot of trouble to kind of make me back off and not go anymore. You know, they didn't want me seen in public with Carlos or Eric that way, and they kind of tried to, well, they forced us into porn not too long after the fight stuff, you know, and I knew I had to back down from the concert then. But what they did is Eric and Carlos both was in the limo, and they said, we get to go for a ride, and I said, okay, cool, you know, and we were just going to go for a ride, and these guys stopped at the motel, and they said, we're really sorry, but they're going to force us into porn, or they're going to kill us. They always used the excuse that they would kill us, and they would pistol whip us. They would hurt us, you know. And so what they did is they tried to make all of us get in bed at this little motel, kind of right off of Mansfield Highway there in Forest Hills, Texas, and I wouldn't do it. And so I told them, I said, only with a blanket on me. So they kind of put me and Carlos in bed and told Eric to sit in the corner and watch. And we kind of made jokes, and we kind of ruined it where it wasn't any good as porn, you know. And when I got kind of fed up with them, I said, I'm going to make a snuff film, and I went for the gun because one guy had a camera and the other had a gun, and the other limo driver dude was out there. He may have been Terry Johnson, the CIA dude. I don't know, it looked like him. But anyway, so they didn't get too much porn, but see, they forced us into that, and they had that footage. They couldn't sell it because it wasn't any good as real porn, you know. They didn't catch us naked, I hope. I don't even know. I've never seen it, of course. That was one incident. But before I got down to Texas, they also, while I was pregnant with William, and he was me and Carlos' baby in 74, I was 19 then, the guy stopped by and said, we get to go hang around the park together. I said, good. And Eric and Carlos both was there that day. So they took us to the park, and Eric said, I'm really sorry, but they want porn, and I was so mad because I was pregnant. But the Nazis wanted that to be something dirty and gross. You know, here somebody is pregnant who wants to see this kind of stuff. And it was perverted to them. To me, I said, you know, birth is beautiful. I want to do this where it's not going to be something that's going to turn on these Nazis. So the only way I'm going to do this, if I'm going to take my clothes off out here in the park, and we were at Sam A. Baker Park, if I remember, right behind the high school. I said, if Carlos take the pictures with me and Eric, and then me and Eric take pictures, and we just kind of stood around this park, you know, for these pictures, and then some smooching, and it was that kind of deal. But it was devastating that these people forced us into this. You know, this isn't something that we wanted, and they can call it a compromising position today, and that's what it's called. But back in them days, we called it blackmail and extortion. But the Nazis, by doing this, they thought that we were so intimidated. If we don't want people to see us like this, and we don't want people to see our body, then we better keep our mouth shut. But see, it didn't work on us. We continued to stick together and do our little dance routines when we could.